Hi guys, this is my finished computer. Yeah, so I've got an annoying bright sound card down the bottom, but that's just all the Sound Blaster Z's. I can cover it up, but it's not the point of this video. The point of this video is to just let you guys know how I've gotten with this machine. It's now just after New Year's Day. A few bits and pieces I still need to do yet. Like taking this plastic cover off. That's the first thing. So my main reason for upgrading this machine was just basically due to how old mine was. I mean, mine had done a good 10 years, I would say, roughly. In 2010 I built it. I put some cheap old nasty processor in it when I first got it. Some Pentium G, whatever the hell it was. It wasn't even a quick thing. I think it was like a G81455 or something. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was just like a real basic dual core. You couldn't overclock it. An i3 would have put it out of its league. It was terrible. And after that, I upgraded the processor and all the rest of it. It just got annoying. I just felt to myself, let's just build a full computer instead of piecing together bits to make it quicker. You just build what you're after to begin with. So that's what I did. This computer's been a pain in the backside since I built this, just because there's been loads of can't get it in now. Pain in the backside just because there's been loads of odd things happening with it. That looks so much better without that horrible plastic cover over the top of it. Oh, now for the front. It's been itching to come off anyway. I give that dust filter a knockout. As I said, this computer's only been built for a week now, and it's, I keep forgetting those longer bolts. So yeah, it's only been built for a week now, and it's definitely collecting the dust. So it's dust in here, as you can just see. There's a bit floating down there somewhere. As you can see, I've got my RGB lights off as well at the moment. I don't always have them on. Sometimes I have them off, sometimes I have them on. Depends how I'm feeling. You know, if I fancy an actual dark room for a change, then they go off. And boy, does it collect the dust, as you can see. So it's that cleaned. Right, so with the Asus motherboard, I've got that horrible nasty antenna, which is not very nice. I'm going to do something with that soon, but for now, I'm going to leave it alone. There's some tidying up to do in here still. I just thought I'd show you the lights, give you my reviews on this computer, because it has been an absolute pain. Hey guys, so this my new computer is all fully built, as you can see. It's not been without its issues. I've had some annoying issues, I've had some not so problematic issues. It's just been a mixed bag, this new computer. Normally when I do a new system, all new software, you know, it's all new hardware, not too much, a few teething problems, but not too much. This one has definitely been a headache versus the 2600K when I first built that system, even though it was a 2500K. It's still the same motherboard, same everything else. It was not without its headaches, but it still wasn't too bad. This thing has been a headache, but it's been a headache that I've been able to work through. So let's go through some of the positives. So I have, I load them up on my PC. That's the bird, my messy desk, because you'll see in a second. Let's turn the light off. Actually, yeah, we'll leave the light. Just turn it off my phone. There we go. So I have RGB on this computer. So if we turn on rainbow, that then puts the motherboard's memory on. The motherboard's got its own RGB below the GPU, which you can't really see that well, and also at the top here, which you can just about see. Also turns them on. So we're now at the Lian Li ATX Streamer RGB, and again, as you can see here, another one of these stupid teething problems I've got a stick in memory, it's not lighting up. That doesn't always happen. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. But just for this video, I'm gonna see if we can get it back. If not, I'll have to restart the computer. No, you're not gonna start. Let's give it a restart. So I'm pressing F2 and I can't get into BIOS. If you can see that light's flashing, basically this keyboard needs to be put into BIOS mode for this motherboard. So that was one of the most annoying sections of this, because if you didn't know about BIOS mode for the Corsair RGB Strafe, you're going to get nowhere. It's not going to do you any favours. Yeah, it's not going to do you any favours. This keyboard basically does not like this motherboard. It seems to be anything to do with Corsair and Asus. They don't like each other. I don't get it. It's been around on the forums. There's a number of people with like some of the K-Ranger keyboards that have had nothing but issues. It's just been a pain, an absolute pain. So that has been the most annoying section, because if there's a BIOS problem, which there has been, which I'll talk about in a minute, there's nothing you can do. So you're stuck. So that's that. We'll talk about the other problem that needed me to go into the BIOS. Because I bought the I can't remember what it's called now, Asus Maximus ROG motherboards that had the Call of Duty Black Ops on it. Oh, my sticky memory's back. Yeah, as I bought that Call of Duty motherboard, I had issues with the BIOS being so out of date. Which isn't a problem, you just update your BIOS, but when you've got a keyboard that won't allow you to update it, nothing but a problem. So I managed to get over that hurdle, because I figured the keyboard out, done the update, it was massively out of date. It's a good thing too, because previous to the update, what the board was doing to the CPU was overclocking it. So it run standard at 3.6, just ticking over. The minute you fired a game up or anything, it would push single core to 5 GHz. Now, this CPU I've got is no exceptional sample, it's a garbage sample. I managed 4.7 stable on all cores. This is as far as it will go. That's just its limit. So the motherboard pushing 1 or 2 cores to 5 GHz on Turbo Boost was no good. It was just blue screening on odd occasion. Software or anything with AVX, it just didn't want to know, and that's by default. Even after I'd done the BIOS update, it was still overclocking the CPU. I had to manually go in, set my own settings for my XMP and everything, and force the CPU to a certain speed. And I thought, well, whilst I'm doing that, I may as well overclock it. So I went through, played about with some of the settings, got it to 4.7. reduced it to 4.4 or 4.5 for the AVX. It's been good. It's been alright. What other issues do I have with it? Case. So I don't know if you've watched my other video to do with me building the system at Christmas Eve, but this is a Corsair case. This had some design flaws. So I had one at the front, which is to do with the fans. Where they screw in, it was all dented in. Didn't really have much of an impact on it, but when you buy a brand new case, you don't want to see dents on it. So that was one downside to it. And at the back, where the power supply screwed in, it sort of braced, and on that brace there was a dent. So I had to literally screw my power supply in to force the dent out, which again, on a brand new case, you shouldn't have to do. I managed to strip one of my screws doing it, so I wasn't too happy. It's lucky it was a screw and not the case, but again, that's also in there. All my other issues. The 9900K itself was an issue. One of the reasons why I wasn't able to get a decent overclock on the thing is because it can't get rid of heat. I'll give you an example. In my water system, that pipe, so one pipe's always hot, one's always cold in a sense, because you're getting the hot water coming from your CPU, coming all the way down into your rads, and then it returns from here, from the other pipe, cold to the CPU. Well, when you've got a CPU that the actual IHS, the shield over the CPU that your heat is transferred through, is limiting how much heat you can transfer to your water cooling system, you have a problem. So let's just say the process is sucking down 200 watts of power, and that 200 watts of power is generating heat. So let's just say that heat spreader is only good for 200 watts, although the CPU could go to 250, for example. Well, then that causes you a problem, because you're now bound by temperature on what you can get from the CPU, and that's exactly what happened. 4.7 got me to about 90 degrees, 4.8 got me to 98 degrees, and 4.9 was like 100 degrees. It's pointless. And 5 gigahertz, well, it will do it, but it will throttle straight away, so pointless. So 4.7 was my limit. The water cooling system's barely even flinching. I didn't even need to do a push pull, but I just done it because of the extra fans. So if I had to build another system, definitely wouldn't touch this 9900K. It's not a bad CPU, but compared to competition, you know, you see all these benchmarks of these things doing 5 gigahertz, but you got to remember a silicone lottery. So if you're going to play silicone lottery, why not just buy an AMD and not have to play that? Because they don't really overclock. You just get the right memory for them and you get the performance. So as I said before, I'd go AMD. That's that. It's done now. I have a 9900K. I'm happy with it. Just wouldn't build another one again. So that's that. If we load up IQ. So the other problem I had with this thing is this water cooler. So it's showing up in here now. When I first built my system, I was not able to get this water cooler to pick up in IQ, so it was always sat there at this speed, didn't alter, didn't do anything. Even if I ramped up the CPU, it just never got, you know, it just didn't do anything. So I basically had to remove the driver for this water cooling system, and once I'd done that, it came to life. But I just don't see why I had to remove it from Device Manager to get this thing to pick up. It just seems really stupid. It came up as like a H150i Platinum, and I literally deleted it from Device Manager, and I had IQ installed, and it picked up a driver called like Corsair XP. I can't remember the exact name of it, but let's have a look. Device Manager. Ignore that device, that's my mouse being stupid. There's always some sort of problem with this machine, I'm not gonna lie. Every now and on odd occasions there's a problem. Didn't even find it anyway, but it's not important. That's not what I'm here for. Where is it? There you go. So that's the driver for the water cooling system. That last time came up as H150i Platinum. So I had to delete that, and then when it came back, it came up as this Corsair USB XP driver. As I said, it seems really stupid why it didn't pick that driver up in the first place. I have no idea. It's probably Windows 10 and its infinite wisdom trying to pick up whatever it thinks was the choice for the hardware, but it wasn't. So that was that. Another problem I had, again maybe from going to the new iCUE, I'm not sure, but I used to have a profile on the actual keyboard saved to the keyboard. Well, that function does not work on this new iCUE, so I think the software is to blame, but it destroyed the lighting profile that was saved to it, even the one by default. Stopped the keyboard, the lighting profile from working. So now when the keyboard's off, let's just turn this off. Turn the iCUE off completely. No lighting profile by standard, although my mouse mat has one. My fans have some. It's a bit confusing. I'm not sure what's going on with that. But that's another problem I've had, and it all spanned from that motherboard and me putting this keyboard in BIOS mode, and it's like a recovery mode for the keyboard, but I have no idea. Again, it's all down to that motherboard, caused me nothing but trouble. But aside from that, it's working. It's all good. I do some crazy stuff with the lighting, so it's not bad. Rendering from the 2600 to this, it's definitely much faster. Folding at home is ridiculously quick, so I also do that as well. The pretty crazy thing, so I do the spiral lighting effect. So that's now on the keyboard, the mouse mat, and on the fans. So we're going to put visor on. So we'll turn that off, we'll turn the lights off, and we can see some of the lighting effects that this thing can do. The light is now off. It's pretty quick. I think I can slow it down. So I do a lot of other things with this thing as well. So we've got type lighting, so if I hit a key, in a sense, hit control, yeah, that's trailing all the way from the keyboard to the mouse mat to the computer. I mean, you can set the other thing as well. When you set a colour, I mean, look how strong that is. You set a whole theme for your room just with keyboard, mouse, and fans. So I've still got one more fan to add, as you can see in the back. That's because I bought 140 instead of 120 to fit in this computer. We've got colour shift, which is just shifting from one colour to the next. It's pretty cool. And I'll show you the downsides to having all this RGB, because it can be a bit much. I mean, I've got my mouse set to low, and that also can do rainbow effects through the Razer software. Right, so I've just set a rainbow profile for this mouse. I'm pretty sure it can get a lot brighter than that. But my question is, who in their right mind's gonna have all this super bright RGB in their room and have it on at all times? Because right, so let's just show you the downside to this RGB. So I've just set my Razer software to RGB craziness. There's one down. Now I need to set the Armory crate because we can. Rainbow setting, speed, fast. You can even do strobing as well. So that's that one. I'm going to do the same with this. Not sure what one it would be. Colour pulse, maybe. You get the idea. I mean, your room just throbbing colour. You just got to ask yourself sometimes, like, all that RGB is. Hey, look at my room. It's glowing, quite literally. And with the screen off, it's even worse. So you're not going to sleep with RGB in your room. I mean, look at this. You are not sleeping in this. As much as I love it, I really do love it. I'm not gonna lie. It's a bit much. Even my poor camera's struggling with it. But it's still pretty cool. I give it an 8 out of 10 just because it looks amazing. But it's not a very practical thing to have. But I'll tell you one thing I do like about it, what you can do with it. So turn the screen back on. So if we set a static colour of, just because it's Intel, actually, should we go with blue? Let's go green. If we set a static colour of green, a reasonably vibrant one, that'll do. You set that green, you set this one as well to static colour. You want that green. And we want the Razer. The Razer software. We want a static colour of green. You can do some pretty cool stuff with this, so that's everything green. It looks pretty cool. Not gonna lie. I know I've got red base, so let's just try red. Let's go for red. Yeah, there's the other one. Armory crate. We'll go for red. It looks pretty cool. And all the red goes quite well. It's not off or anything. It's pretty cool. And the red is pretty much on point, I'm not going to lie, it's pretty accurate. So, nice red glow to the room. Let's just change it to white. But apparently, right, this is full on white. So the keyboard is, you can see it's got a hint of blue to it. Mouse mat is like a pinky colour, it's weird. The mouse has got a hint of blue, I think it's blue. So the more I look at it compared to anything else, it looks more accurate than any of the others. And down here on the PC, this is apparently white. As you can see, the water cooler is no good at doing white. fans look more blue. I think the memory's pretty damn white, but it's still got a hint of blue. And my strimmer just looks yellow. So these fans look blue. So the white is awful. Don't try and get the white setup, it just will not work. That's the first part. And also, on a side note, the amount of dust this thing attracts. I don't know how well you can see it on you can see it. It's glass, so glass electronics, just no. I'll say again, the glass looks cool. When the sun hits it, or when it's in this scenario, you see all the dust. And bear in mind, I've had this system set up in here now for 3 weeks, roughly now. But yeah, that's cool. That's the, I guess you could say, my positives and the downsides to those positives. Because to be honest, the system that I've built this time around is the best system I've ever built in terms of specs. Yeah, or class of specs. I mean, it's more the enthusiast range now rather than a standard spec computer or something just above a standard spec. So, as I said, I'm happy with it. The other thing to be aware of is the amount of heat that this thing puts out, but I think it's more down to the 2080. I mean, it puts out some serious heat, but I think it's more the 2080 that's to blame for that. But that's just my overview. Playing games on this thing, I'll show you the team later. It'll be a lot easier than me trying to explain it. You can see the difference for yourself.